I'm looking at designer fragrance reviews and I see pretty much the same bottles over and over again. So I decided that in today's video I'm gonna be showcasing 5 fragrances that I think they should get a little bit more love. Now that doesn't mean that Chanel Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme doesn't deserve the hype, because I actually think it's a phenomenal fragrance. I'm just saying that these 5 that I'm gonna be talking about are flying under the radar a little bit too much. And starting up today with one of my favorite fragrances from Versace, and this is Versace Oud Noir. And don't get scared by the name of this fragrance. This is one of the most beginner-friendly designer oud fragrances that you can find. The oud note in this fragrance is not funky, and it's perfectly balanced by some patchouli and some cardamom. It has enough airiness to it, and it doesn't really have any of that medicinal vibe. A lot of people are comparing this fragrance with Tom Ford Oud Wood. Now, I don't really agree with that, but if you do find this fragrance similar to it, you have to keep in mind that this is going for a fraction of the price for a similar longevity as well. And that would be probably the main downside of this fragrance, because it doesn't last too long either. You will get a very good 2 hours of projection, and then it becomes a skin scent with about 6 hours of longevity. But if you apply this fragrance a little bit more on clothes, it's gonna last you a little bit longer. Dark, warm, spicy, you're gonna smell very well put together. And in my opinion, this can also be a signature scent for the right person, although it does carry a touch of a mature vibe on it. And speaking about a mature vibe, let's go to a fragrance that represents old school perfumery in the bottle, in my opinion. And I have here a sample of Chanel Platinum Egoiste, and I have to tell you that this is definitely something that you don't really get to smell anymore around. This definitely has that old school gentleman type of vibe. A lot of florals through it. It has a very distinguished metallic lavender and a good amount of that classy sage and geranium combination. It's crisp, it has that barbershop-y type of feeling, definitely something signature scentable if you like fragrances like this. And also, in my opinion, pretty good longevity for what it is, around 6 to 7 hours, and because of the character of this fragrance, it projects pretty much throughout the whole wear. This is sharp, sophisticated, definitely for someone who appreciates a retro vibe. But speaking of that, if you don't like those old school fragrances, this is not gonna be for you. And keeping it classy but built more around spices and a very distinguished note of tea, I have here Cartier Declaration. Now, if you're going to be looking at the busy note breakdown of this fragrance, you're going to get extremely confused. It opens up with a very distinguished bitter orange, and then you're starting to get some spices. Now, the spices that you want to keep in mind in this fragrance are going to be caraway and cumin, and I'll come back to that in a minute. And in the dry down, you are going to be left with tea and woody elements. Now, this feels incredibly smooth and airy. It has that weightless feeling, and it does match Cartier as a brand. It feels classy and luxurious. Like always, I will keep things honest with you guys. This fragrance is not going to work for everyone. So if you ever try this fragrance, go with it straight on skin, because the cumin is all about skin chemistry. On my skin, it smells great, classy. On some people, you're gonna smell like you're cooking a curry in the kitchen. So it's one of those fragrances that is either gonna be a make or break. Very polarizing, but in my opinion, if this works on your skin, this is a phenomenal fragrance. Now, another downside for some people, it's gonna be the longevity of this fragrance. You are gonna get about 6 hours of longevity, and for me, this is enough, but I know there are a lot of people that are looking for this beast mode fragrances. This is not it. This is just a classy fragrance. It's not supposed to scream of your skin. Price-wise, this is another great point for this fragrance. It often goes on discounters for as low as £60 for 100 ml. which I think is a phenomenal price for a masterpiece like Cartier Declaration. Now, we've been talking about a few classic fragrances, so let's move on to something a bit more mass appealing. But before we do that, if you want some more honest and unbiased reviews where we expose the fragrance hype, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And looking at the most mass appealing fragrance on this list, this is a blue fragrance and is Narciso Rodriguez Blue Noir. Now I'm talking about the Eau de Toilette. Currently I have in my collection EDP, and although I do think that this is definitely underrated as well, I prefer the Eau de Toilette. And it has some reminiscence of Cartier Declaration. Actually, it's kind of like you took this fragrance, you remove the challenging spices, and you add a good nose of musk, and you give it like a blue feeling. It's definitely gonna be a lot more mass appealing, and you're gonna smell a lot more unique. You're not gonna smell like your Bleu de Chanel or Dior Sauvage or Versace Dylan Blue. I prefer Narciso Rodriguez Blue Noir over all of those, and it's also one of the fragrances that got me quite a few compliments in the way that I smell very pleasant, but something unique, something that people haven't smelled before. Performance wise of Blue Noir is also pretty good, about 6-7 hours of longevity with a medium projection for the first 2 to 3 hours. Definitely signature scentable. And one very good aspect about this fragrance is the price point. You're gonna find the 50 ml for as low as £27 and 100 ml for £40. Just think about it like this: all the clone new releases are now pushing the prices at £40, but you can get Narciso Rodriguez Blue Noir for the same price, and I can tell you it's significantly better quality. And last on my list, it's a fragrance that I almost don't see featured anywhere, and this is Kenzo Homme Intense. And just like the mist of the atomizer, this kind of feels like you took the Santal 33 DNA and you put it in like a mist vaporizer. That's kind of like how this fragrance feels like. This is a Quentin Biche creation, and it kind of carries that green Santal 33 DNA, but instead of that pickle note from the sandalwood, you kind of get that similar vibe, but from a green fig leaf. And it kind of adds like a marine note to it, while keeping it a lot more airy with a very solid Akigala wood base. This has insane performance for an EDT. Great projection for the first 3 hours, and longevity wise, I've got as long as 10 hours. This is great if you're looking for something that is gonna last. But like always, I want to see what is your choice when it comes to an underrated designer fragrance. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the comments.